But alright, let's talk about Warcraft. Let's talk about the 4th winner bracket quarterfinal. And that is Remind versus Lucifer. Actually, pretty interesting that both players made it out of their group. Especially Lucifer. That was the biggest surprise. There we go. His group B. He was in a group with Colorful 120 and Infi, and he threw down 120 to the lowest bracket where he was eliminated by Infi. In a very, very cool Undead Mirror. 3-1 in the end, so he's the winner of his group. And Remind was in group A, exactly, with Moon, Life, and WFZ. And he lost to Life, which was a big surprise to me, but that was kind of the start of the ascendance of Life. And then, the way bigger upset is that he won against WFZ. WFZ was so good against Night Elf for such a long time. But Remind actually practiced with his opponent today. He practiced with Lucifer for this match, so they know each other inside out. And Lucifer's weak matchup was Night Elf for a long time, so he had something to gain from that as well. So I wonder, who's gonna take this home? Both Korean, both in the scene for a very, very long time. Lucifer playing for Meteor Makers forever. Remind, team of SK Gaming, World Elite. He's played for the best in the world for a long time. And he won several WC3Ls as well, so very good in team games, but both with big solo successes as well. Remind, of course, WCG and BlizzCon. Lucifer, ESWC. That's quite a while ago, as you can see here in the win percentages. Both not that great against their respective races, but we're gonna see who has the better end here now. This works, and off we go. Into the first match. It's once again a best of 5. We start on Ancient Isles. And there we have a Demon Hunter first. And a very standard opening. Not going for this. Very easy to jack, I think. On the other side, DK Ghoul opening for Lucifer as well. That is not a big surprise here. That is the meta game currently. And a very successful one as well. Undead seemed to be a little favored in this matchup. But Remind showed how this can work. With a lot of aggression. To get rid of ghouls early on. Have a nice Demon Hunter. And then try to expand your position. Try to expand in general on tier 2. And I wonder what Lucifer's game plan is. As I said before, they know each other inside out. The strategies that Remind was preparing for WFZ, he practiced them with Lucifer, but WFZ is a different player than Lucifer. And let's see if the strategies are working out against this as well. Demon Hunter with Claws of Attack, very nice. One of the best items that he could get. And creeping, of course, thanks to the Engine of War for the Night Elf, is faster. No problem with that. No skeletons here, so the ghouls take a few hits. How fast is... Ooh, Nerubian Tower. Very early on. And very far forward. So he's expecting some harasses here. Second Rod of Necromancy used. Ring of Protection for him. Very uneven drops. No tier 2 tech yet. But this will be followed up shortly. Remind is level 2. Trying to get a ghoul here, but not getting it. Second Ziggurat, Nerubian Tower is up. And yeah, he was prepared for this harass. Nerubian Tower is there. Can't do too much, but on the other side, Lucifer can't surround here really. He does only have the skeletons and 2 healthy ghouls. And you need way more than that, otherwise the Blade Master is just chewing through this. Base is walled off with the graveyard here now. And still no level 2 for the DK. The Warrior is still up. And this is exactly what I meant with mass aggression is key. Oh, he doesn't get it! Or did he? Now there's this around, and now there's a lot of skeletons. He still doesn't want to fight through this because there was a nice Wisp detonate, getting rid of 4 of the skeletons. So, yeah. This Demon Hunter definitely got the Warrior. And so Lucifer is pretty crippled from the beginning on. Ghoul's hurt. DK level 1. Tech halfway through though. There is a little advantage for him in that regard. But apart from that, very good opening for Remind. He was struggling in this matchup for so long. Basically, since his comeback, this was his kryptonite. Still no level 2. DK getting a few hits. There is the Unholy Aura, which is of course necessary here, but no coil to steal stuff. The Skeletons will get this, right? And then there's a coil. Yep, there we go. Well done by Lucifer. But he gets the first Ghoul for free. Archers can Shadow Melt to hide, and he gets more experience from those little... Nice split by Remind. So the Skeletons can't attack without getting hit, and then they're dead. New Rod of Necromancy, and tier 2 is done. No Garg play, no old school tactics. Immediate tier 3. Huntress Hall is super late for Remind. Typical Night Elf mistake. So much pressure that he forgot to build his tier 1.5. And the Naga, which I think is the better choice. A, you have damage right from the start. You don't have to level her up, especially on AI. Very, very hard to do. Getting boots now, I think. There we go. First kill for Lucifer on that archer. And a surround. Well done. Can he fight out? There's 3 archers and the Naga. Coil saved this one. Surround still stuck. He wants this TP. Nice micro by Lucifer. Can he save this one as well, or will he fight out? Oh, TP traded for 1 grunt is really nice. And Remind didn't pay attention for a second. And that's what happens. Engine of Lore number 1. And number 2 will come up here. He's getting ready for this expansion. Before the town portal, things looked really good for Remind. Now he has the late Huntress Hall, late Lores. No TP. But on the other side... Did he get the last hit? I think so. I'm pretty sure he did. So nice last hit with the skeleton. Or did he? Naga. Okay, he did get all of it. Most likely. Tier 3 tech only now. So, I was talking about the Naga. Right click damage right from the start. Slow. Control. And I think this matchup is about how many of your hippos get webbed and how many can attack the heavy air of undead. With Breath of Fire, you do damage to a lot of units. But the damage is not... It's high, but it's not that high. And especially can be countered with coils, respectively. So, with Fork Lightning, that is only 3 targets, but it's stronger on those 3 targets. So to take out Fiends, Fork Lightning is better than Breath of Fire. Plus it's higher right click damage. Risky creep, but it's not getting punished. First statue is there, and that is level 3 for the DK. Talisman of Evasion, also decent dish. While Remind is stealing the red spot away from Lucifer. That's fairly big. Level 3 Demon Hunter, level 2 Naga, and a Health Stone. Second Health Stone. HP regen is nice, saving him a bit of Moon Juice. So where are the Dryads coming? There they are. And more Dryads. But the transition to Bears has already started as well. And he has everything set up for the natural creep. But he needs to heal up. Oh, coil on the Demon Hunter! But there is the staff. It's not the stone. Glitch is out, tier 3 is there. And this is usually the power spike for the undead. But with only 3 ghouls, what can you really do? Boneyard coming already. Fairly quick. Not going for destroyers at all, right? Just quick worm transition. And Remind has no expansion, has no engine of wind, and in general, not too much anti-air. Or effective anti-air. Boots of Speed for the Demon Hunter, nice. as he has them on the Naga already. It's still not too many ghouls. Only 3 at Lumber. Getting Fiends now, and the Boneyard is ready. So Boneyard is ready before the first Fiend is out. That is really quick. Shade scouts all of this. Sees so that there is no Tree of Life. At all. So if there's no Tree of Life, then there's no clock on Lucifer. He can just play his game. Demon Hunter walking into the army with a Nova. Coil. Surround again, maybe? No, Rejuvenation. No Dispel. He can't fight against that. There is a staff. Double boots on the Naga, by the way. Interestingly. Nice block coming in. Good damage on the Demon Hunter. Wow, Remind playing this really well. And the Frost Arrow in full effect. As are the right-click hits from the Demon Hunter and the Bear. So this is a forced potion. In a moment where he just invested a lot into the Destroyer upgrade, into a Worm, into a Fiend. This is not really a perfect situation for it. And here comes a Wisp. This must be the tree. Remind was waiting for the one moment where he has an advantage. Ah, he has no resources right now. I thought he had invested it before, but no, it went into the Engine of Wind. Demon Hunter inventory is nice. Plus 11. Good mobility. And staff. Wand of Illusion. 4 hippos. Really nice. So you gamble a bit. Will the illusions get webbed? Because usually it's on autocast. We have 2 of the fiends. And where's the worm? Must be out. Ah, there, over the trees. Let's see. Level 2. Not that big of a deal. You see the anti-air is working. There's a Lion Horn of Stormwind. Meh. Can you play this really one base? No, you can't. Vamp Aura, nice for the ghouls, but that's about it. Later for Abominations, but I think he will sell it and get a heal scroll and invul for that. 0/0 attacks on the Night Elf units. 0/0 on the Fiends as well. Here comes the first 2 webs, and that should be free kills. That means the worm can do whatever he wants, basically. Needs to keep that Fiend alive, does so, takes out the Hippogriff. Oh, but the first Fog Lightning hits quite well. All ghouls dead. And I think it's a trade you want to do. As the ghouls are only meat shield whatsoever. Second worm started, but he's still in no upkeep. So is Remind, but his army looks way bigger. No coil for that Fiend. Oh, Fog Lightning kills, so that was quite big. Gets a counter focus on the Demon Hunter here. DK squeezes through and has the invul potion, so he's not in that big of danger. Don't fight on Blight is always the key. And the Shade is scouting this. Sees, alright, I need to do something against this fairly quickly. More hippos, but only 1 Engine of Wind. But since he took out a Fiend, there's basically nothing left for Lucifer. That's alright. For once, you can play this with 1 Engine of Wind. I think double Engine of Wind later is always better. For the timing. But, you know. Almost level 4 on the Naga. Level 4 on the Demon Hunter. He's far ahead in experience. But he does have his level 3 on the Lich. And his level 3 on the Decay. So he's equipped well. 50 food only for Remind. This army looks a lot bigger than it is. Ooh, Shade gets scouted. Ooh, Fog Lightning invested though. Ah, he has a lot of mana, so that's fine. Lucifer playing this as careful as he can. Everything is healed up, everything is full mana almost, and 2 worms. 3 hippos against 2 fiends. The other one can get nuked. So that's still fine. Of course, this position, he can't kite backwards. Which is what you usually want. It's a bit of Coil Nova, but there should be Reju against this soon. 3 worms with 1-0. Holy cow, and 4 fiends. Those bears will not have an easy time, but it's only 2, right? It's not many. He has 2 Moonwells here and the Engine of War to protect this expansion. More Hippogriffs joining, but it's only 4. Tinker third, 4 fiends, he can web them all down and then have fun dealing with those worms. The illusions, of course. They help. A little bit of extra experience, but this is not a position where you want to fight and remind. Here we go. Web number 1. And he did not web an illusion yet. Or did he? No. Also this one. Wow, he takes them out one after another. So well done. I think he actually dispelled them. One of the worms is hurt, but there should be a coil. Oh, he miscoiled, right? So there is a chance for Remind. Takes out the first. No, the coil last second. Takes out the Tinker, but that's not a big problem. As long as the DK and Lich are still alive. Oh my god. The damage is so surreal from those 3 worms. You can't do anything against it. Except staffing out, of course. But the army still looks good for Remind. 66 supply, DK is low. Good focusing now. Get rid of the bear, nice coil. But that was the second last one, as it seems. Level 4 on the DK. And now he faces a mass range army where he can't do too much against. But Fiend Shots and Lich with an orb are actually enough to hold this. Gets more and more kills. Well played by Lucifer. Demon Hunter is back though. Now it's time. Oh, nice deny. Doesn't allow to get more experience on the Demon Hunter. But now there's this shitload of Dryads. The Worm, not really effective anymore. He's producing more and more of this and more Dryads. So the entire army is anti-air. Maybe an Abomination would be nice at this point. But Remind has an expansion up and running. Can basically reproduce everything he wants in good speed. Let's have a little lumber issues though, but that's fine, I guess. Heal Scroll, Invul, Invul. Knows Undead Nuke is strong. Needs Invuls against that. Tinker is already back. Sold his Boneyard, by the way. Still 1-0 upgrades. Nothing too big. 2,500 remaining in the gold mine. And here comes Remind again. He's a little aggressive, but he doesn't need to be. A lot of statues. Only 3 fiends. Risky army composition, that's for sure. A bit more scouting, baiting the hippos out. This destroyer will not die. Oh, he is baiting them. The rest of the army does not follow. He's giving Lucifer a lot of time for his fiends, and then the volleys will kill Dryads with 1 shot. Four, 3-1 heroes. 66 supply only against 74. He needs a great fight once again. He has no abominations. He has no meat wagons. Just Fiends in air. Bring around the Rosie to get a good attack. First web. Take him out with a Nova, interestingly. Hits 2 of them, so that's okay. 4 still in the air against 4 Fiends. On paper, you can't win this. Web again. Doesn't take it out, though. Lucifer, I think you need a transition, man. 1,000 gold remaining in the main mines. And Remind looks incredibly strong. He always keeps Lucifer away from his expansion. With a good army composition. And here we go. Nuke on the Demon Hunter, but there is an invul, there is a staff. Is there a double staff actually? Yes, there is. Okay, now the hippos are webbed. He went a little bit too far forward and takes out 2 of them. Loses a Fiend in return though. Yeah, and here you can see the effect of Fork Lightning. Another hippo dead. Only 2 remaining. And the Tinker forced into an invul again, of course, can't be coiled. More and more hippos are streaming in, but they're webbed constantly. How many of the Fiends can he save? Oh, Miss Micro by Lucifer. Has to deny it. And Hero Focus now. I don't think that's the right thing to do. But the problems are the Dryads. He's diving in deep into the main. Get the statue for it, but yeah, the magic damage is still sick. Good back and forth by Remind. Didn't lose too much. And he will have the gold to replace them. Each Fiend is 250. That's a lot. No Richo anymore, no Bear anymore. So there's almost no threat for the Fiends now. Piercing damage doesn't do too much for them. I still would love to see an Abomination. And what is Lucifer gonna do? Sell everything and go into one big battle? Or try to counter-expand? Remind is already scouting this. But there's no Acolyte moving south. 8,500 gold remaining here. He can still sit on this expansion. Easy! No threat. As long as he gets Invul Potions, which he does. No problem. So the main gold mines are gone! And he sells stuff. One last big attack. Even sells the Ziggurat. He will just invest into items now? Because he's supply stock, he can't go for stuff. Ah, he needed that gold maybe for an expansion. So he's moving south. Wisp sees it, but here it is. And since he built a Necropolis, I think, next to it, then he's not supply stock anymore. So he's in for the long run. 86 supply by Remind. Holy cow. Lucifer needs to kite like a god. Takes out the first 2 hippos. And they don't attack the bears. Only the Dryads do, and they don't do too much. It's mostly focus fire, and you can coil against that. It was a good opening for Lucifer. If he's not losing that Fiend, which he doesn't. Coil Nova. Not Coil Nova, but Nova. Sick Fork Lightning. He can't heal against that. And the Tinker dies for the 2nd time in this game. Remind is playing this superb. And another hippo webbed. All the hippos webbed. Demon Hunter back into the fight. Level 5 now for him. So much mana burn. He can burn the entire mana of the DK, getting rid of 2 Novas, but no, he decides to go for the Lich. He gets his mana out before with the Nova, but he's under pressure. Catches 1 more coil. There is only 1 more remaining, and the Lich, without the Lich, there's no Orb of Corruption, and there's not enough damage to fight this, but I think there's not enough damage anyway. He's so desperate and trying to get this hero kill, but it doesn't work out. First worm kill most likely, but he's going for the DK straight away. There is no healing whatsoever. And the DK falls, and he can't fight without that. The Lich will fall as well, as there's no coil. He does have an invul, but what's it worth? He uses it, but there's nothing against this mass Dryad play. And Lucifer, losing the first map, Remind, takes the 1-0 lead. Surprisingly once again, I would say. But Remind, it looks like he figured this out. He figured this matchup out now. And again, I love this early pressure Demon Hunter right in his face, archers right in his face, try to take out 1-2 ghouls. It's so effective. And then there's the Naga, boom! Okay, he was forced into a surround very early on as he got this Naga, but since he could never fight with his 6 ghouls to soak up the damage, he constantly lost a few fiends. He never got the critical mass, and then after the first fight with 3 worms, which I think is definitely too much, the bears were all gone, yeah, but there was still 6 dryads left, and he could build from that with the expansion running. You can't attack the dryads with that, and then it just works. Last Refuge next. We do have a new sub, which is XT Spaceman Spiff. Thank you very much for the sub with Prime, man. And I do not agree with not going Abominations or Meat Wagons. Why no Ghoul Gargs? Because they get ripped by Dryad Sippos. I think especially since Remind pushed a little bit into his base, Meat Wagons would have been well protected. Isn't Gargs better versus Naga than against the Panda? Yeah, but I still think it's not that great. So, Remind with the 1-0, man. Crazy how this practice with Lucifer really paid off in the understanding of this matchup. Thank you, Derrirus Q, for the sub as well. Also with Prime. Thank you. Using your Amazon subscription correctly, I like. 2 worms instead of 1 abomination. Yep, I do agree. Chechi actually saying something right. No man, Chechi is great, we all know that. Chechi with the undead insights that help us out here. Cool that you're still around, man. And watching those games. But is it right if Neo agrees? Point taken. Point taken. So, next map, Last Refuge. Here we go. It should be a very good undead map for Lucifer. Oh, we even have a donation. Oh my god. Kikai, $5. Great to see cool Warcraft games on Twitch. Good cast, the job. Thank you very much, he says. I say thank you very much, and he says the first thing, you know. Thank you very much for the support. It's much appreciated. And here we go. LR, very good to creep. Also very good to attack, as the base is not the bases are not that far away from each other. Also, you can catch your opponent in the middle of the map somewhere with a few ghouls. I like that. I need something to drink. Real quick. So, all three quarterfinals so far were 3-1. I wonder if this will be the same, or if we go full distance this time. I wonder if Lucifer is biting himself in the ass for helping Remind that much. Because otherwise, he would face WFZ now. And Lucifer is so good in Undead Mirror.
A player's forces are under attack.
Maybe the second best mirror player in the world right after Happy. As we saw in the best of 5 against 120. Damn, that was great. That was no beer, that was an energy drink. Sorry to ruin that image of a German. I don't drink beer before work is done.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, chat is saying Lucifer is such a nice guy, he would never regret to help Remind out. I think that's the case for the entire Korean scene. I think they all like each other a lot. They know each other for 10 years plus. Except maybe some guys like Lawlion to break into it, or Soin or whatever, but when you hang out with them, it's a great atmosphere. I mean, some of them are actually living together, so it's nice. Claws and Wand of Illusion, fairly nice. Can tank up some damage and use for scouting. Lucifer gets this level 2 a lot earlier than last game. And there's a lot of skeletons here. Sees the Demon Hunter, but must be aware this is an illusion. Misses the hit. Here's the real one. Mana burn immediately. But I don't think he can take something out. No, there's a coil. And he can block with the skeleton. There we go. Tier 2 tech, Graveyard. Fairly early Graveyard. And the illusion here. Scouts this. Doesn't see too much. Would be time for a Hunter's Hall Remind. But alright, little skirmish here. Here comes a Wisp for the detonate against the skeletons. Trying to hunt them down. Haha, saves him into a Moonwell. Nicely done. But detonates now. Just to burn the mana, not getting rid of the skellies. And, ooh, the archers are ensnared. The creeps are helping Lucifer here. But he doesn't have a dust, so can't do too much out of it. Oh, actually gets the surround on the archer. Way too late to Shadow Melt. This archer is hurt as well. I think that's a good opening for Lucifer. Doesn't lose a ghoul, gets level 2 quickly. Fights Remind away. And so, this pressure doesn't work that well, but of course, the presence of the Demon Hunter keeps him from creeping.
A player's forces are under attack.
No second crypt or anything, no mass guard play, close to tier 2. Hunter's Hall is in time. Shouldn't complain about that. He's going to the tavern. I bet it's a Naga second. Or on this map, maybe a Panda, because it's so big. And lots of experience on this map. The early game doesn't went too good. So Panda makes a lot of sense. But this is like plan B, I think. This is not what Remind wants to play, or how he wants to go into the mid game. He takes out a camp on Remind's side of the map, where of course the Panda needs those. And the claws, nice for the Lich. There was something completely lacking on Ancient Out, by the way. Pimped Lich. And he gets the Creep Jack. Well, and Ghoul hits. Wow, nice surround. Almost surround. Blocks him there. Creeps are helping. Force TP again. Same as on AI. Saves all the ghouls. Yeah, and forces the TP. And keeps him from creeping. Well done by Lucifer.
A player's forces are under attack.
Has to be careful about those ghouls here, man. Oh, that was close. He has all the time in the world. As Remind is continuing to fight this rock golem. Rope of the Magi for the Panda. Excellent. And of course, double ore. Where's the second? There. Lich is coming. Slaughterhouse. Early sacrificial pit. No surprise. Looks like an early worm as well. Double level up. Level 3 and 2. Mana burn immediately. No mana anymore. The Panda has Drunken Haze now. Will he go for... Oh, the statue here. Meh. Will he go for Worm before Fiend again? On paper that doesn't make much sense, because you want to counter Dryads with them. And Dryads of course appear a lot earlier than Bears, so... But I think it's to control the heroes. And the first Bear. Ghoul Frenzy upgrade. No Boneyard yet. He lacks gold. And he just invested a lot of gold into this old corruption. So Remind actually doing fairly well, except the town portal. Ooh, he's slowed, but doesn't get it. This gives a lot of time to the Panda. Should be level 3 soon. Of course he's spamming the Nova now to not get burned. No expansion, just an Engine of War.
A player's forces are under attack.
So this is level 3 for him. Really nice inventory. And level 3. Red spot for Lucifer though. Unholy Aura. Very unlucky. Has that already. Doesn't need it anymore. And level 2 on the Lich though. Still no Fiend. Boneyard is coming. Only 38 supply for the Undead. 47 for Remind already. 3 Bears. As he knows, okay, this timing is fairly good for me. It's really good for him. And he catches him. Nice. He saw that with a Wisp, of course. So how many ghouls can he kill? Not a single one, as it seems. But the DK. Oh boy, yeah, TP out. Raw being used. And this is not ideal for Lucifer at all. He has 48 supply now, but 7 of that supply is still in the Boneyard for a long time. Statue's there to heal. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. Nice. Ignites the ghouls. And the shop is gone. Oh, yeah, there wasn't a shop. There was the sacrificial pit. It's not a big loss. Stalling some time for the worm. And at this point of the game, the Bears are really a threat. Also, only one Fiend. Trying to nuke the Panda, but he's fairly tanky. Has a heal scroll, and the big Invo can be transferred as well. Second Breath of Fire is doing a great job. Killing more and more ghouls, and once again, he can't use them as meat shield. Just to buy time. Yeah, now he knows. Now that 3 to 4 ghouls are gone, he can go for the Expo. It feels like Remind plays this a lot smarter than Lucifer, with better timings. First worm is out. Panda comes back with a Mana Stone. inventories are so great. First Destroyer is up. He gets this item. Book of the Dead. There's quite a bit of Dispel, but no Wisp nearby. This could help. It's no area of effect Dispel, it's single target, so you can get off 2 skeletons, which is not worth it at all. And this is so much time. The early game was so good by Lucifer, but then all of a sudden, I think really the lack of Fiends and the early Worm does not fit Remind's style. This is risky. Remind is walking into the wrong direction. It's the second red spot for Lucifer, and Warsong Battle Drums makes up for the bad aura I got before. This is 10 damage on a Worm. This is 3 damage on a Wisp. 1 attack upgrade for free. Oh no. Oh no. This is disastrous. Huge investment into the second Worm. And he's down. Is he... Oh, the coil. Last second coil, but he's already so hurt. Book of the Dead being used. Okay. This is kind of his last stand. He doesn't have a town portal on him. He has to fight this. Not the biggest amount of hippos, so he can take them out. And now the 2 worms are really helping. And the Destroyer, of course, to take out the first bear, take out the second bear quite nicely. But he can't fight back. He can't kite back. And he loses the statues again. Just like on AI. Whoa! Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. So much misses, but it's going for the Demon Hunter. Staffs him out. Still 1 hero remaining. But can he save them? He's blocking himself a little. Oh, Demon Hunter's already back with the second step. This worm falls. Level 4 on the Demon Hunter. Can he save him, or is he dead? There's no hero to save him. The Demon Hunter falls. Frostborn hungers. And Lucifer salvaging this quite well. But if he loses the second worm, that's horrendous. Actually saves him. Dryads are following him. If he sacrifices 1, it doesn't matter. And that's how it is. And he surrounds the DK. Level 5 on him, but what's it worth? Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. More hits from the Dryad. He's slowed. And this should be the end. Oh, actually, he blocks well and he keeps the DK alive, but he moves back in. Where's the Breath of Fire? Here we go! Long range, level 4 on the Panda. GG by Lucifer. And Remind again on top of his game. Yeah, and Frostborn hungers no more. What a scrappy fight, and what a big risk he took. Going into that rat spot without a town portal. That was not played well by Lucifer. Maybe he was a little tilted already. But this is match points now. Remind could be the first player to not lose a map in the playoffs. Ooh, the flames on Lucifer here. Come on, cut this guy some slack. I don't like Lucifer's timings here. Like, the choice to go late Fiends, early Worm. His early game is quite good. It was on AI and it was on LR. He got the town portal every single time. Didn't lose too many ghouls. Well, on AI he did. But then came the push on LR. He caught him there. Too greedy maybe as well. The early Worm gets the bird. That's indeed nice. Yeah, match points here. Didn't expect this to be that one-sided. I think his focus on worms is wrong because you can get rid of bears with a few worms, with a few fiends and Orb of Corruption as well. And then can take out the fiends. With a worm, yeah, you get rid of the bears super quick. But then what? Then there's 2 fiends maybe. And the Lich. But it's very hard to say, I think. Wow, more than 28,000 followers now. Sick! Yeah, I think you kind of agree with me on this. And again, we haven't seen a single Abomination, we haven't seen a single Meat Wagon. On this game, on Last Refuge, I don't blame him for them, because it was too early, I guess. Can he adapt now? He has to. He has to play a different style, and he has to play a lot better. So far, Remind. Really, really strong. And here you see the players again. Both not on top of the scene currently. But they have their moments. And Lucifer needs a lot of those moments as we go on to map 3. Amazonia it is. Remind in the upper right, Lucifer in the bottom left. And this is one of the best on that maps, I think, with worms. A lot of trees, but as an IF player, you can force fights at positions where it really suits you. Here, for example, or here. Positions where there's not a single tree. Well, it's too dark, you can see it, right? But you know what I mean. DK and Demon Hunter first. No surprise. Basically, only thing you can do here. On LR, a Warden would be kind of possible. But did Lucifer play Gargs recently? At all? I don't think so, right? Happy did it a bit? Or did Lucifer do it on maps like SV? But SV is not in the pool. On Turtle Rock and TM you can do it as well, but I don't think you can do it here. So no creeps denied here. Pulls the next ones and gets level 2 from it. Circle it. DK is creeping this as well. You can't really harass this. A few months or almost a year ago, Undeads would run over on certain maps and try to get last hits, but this is not possible. On AZ. It is the smallest map, but it's also very easy to creep this first spot. And so both players get level 2. Night Elf goes on to this spot to get out the troll. And fairly early tech on both sides. Remind once again slightly ahead. And there we have it. Nice little pull from the archers to get rid of the troll trappers. So even the demon hunter doesn't lose too much HP, but this can go wrong. The skeleton scouts this. Ah, he doesn't have a dust, so not able to take it out. What's the skeleton doing? Does he want to pull? Or just sending it in there? I don't know. Boots for the demon hunter. This is looking towards aggression. And pulls out the creeps, sniping the renegade with mana burn. It's gonna lose a lot of HP. But it's worth it if you take it away from the undead. Actually, it's gonna be close. Flute. Oh boy, a town portal. This was too risky. Yeah, this happens. Even to the pros. Hunter's Hall is in time though. And Flute for Dryads is really nice. Yeah, and Lucifer does it a little bit better. Gets the zombie mask. Also has a mantle, which is quite nice. Whisper scouting this. Demon Hunter comes in and now he sees, oh, no TP. Did he sell it for boots? Just lost it.
A player's forces are under attack.
He wanted to do that. Nah, you don't want to waste 350 gold for that. No way. So tier 2 is done. He's moving towards the middle. With that TP loss, can he still go for a Naga? Or is it too risky? Lucifer is doing a good job at creeping. Level 3 for him already. Very fast. Nice inventory. And late graveyard though.
A player's forces are under
Tier
attack.
3 before the graveyard is there. Wind of Illusion for more scouting. It is a Naga. Okay. Level 3 on the Demon Hunter now as well. Ilu scouts this, scouts the Naga too. We don't see a sacrificial pit at all. Yes, 500 gold. Also no Lich. And reminds first little push is coming. There we go. I don't really know why that Lich is so late, if there's no slaughterhouse and no sacrificial pit. End of Illusion again, as mentioned before, this is quite nice. Okay, there's the pit, there's the slaughterhouse, and Lich is coming too. Fast tier 3 for the orb, this should line up perfectly. So the Lich should pop out when tier 3 is finished and then immediately has the orb, which is quite nice. Yeah, and it's again an early worm, as chat is pointing out. This is late fiend, early worm. Only 34 supplies, so map presence is completely on the Night Elf side. With double slow, with good damage, with mana burn. This is his to take. And so he can go for this risk to take out the Rock Golem spot of Lucifer to get this big consumable. And he gets quite a bit done here on the down side of the map, on the south side. But he couldn't be aggressive with the Naga. He couldn't go for the ghouls. What is it? Potion of Invulnerability. Nice. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ghouls. And that might be the first time in this series where you can actually use those ghouls to fight. Or in the big first fight. Tier 3 tech is done. And here's the slot for the Boneyard. Level 2 Naga, level 3.5 Demon Hunter. There we go. Again, 2 Dryads versus 0 Fiends. Boneyard not there. So this time, oh, it's once again Ghoul Frenzy. Not a Fiend. And Ghoul Frenzy is finished. A lot of mobility in this army. But Is it too many ghouls? Naga third this time. No Tinker. Mass pressure. Looks like he wants to get rid of an expansion or deny an upcoming expansion. He's kiting back a bit. Lich is fairly well equipped. We get an invo potion on the Naga because she can't get coiled. 50 versus 45. Immediate nuke on the Demon Hunter because of course there will be mana burns. 2 more coils remaining. First Archer dead. And the ghouls are doing a decent job, but they get killed fairly fast. Fork Lightning as well. Counter Nova onto that Naga. But there is the big invo potion, so she should be safe. Lich is out of position, getting a lot of hits by this bear. And Remind is taking out the ghouls once again. Whoop. Double kill. Well fought. Well fought by Remind. He's down to 38. Still no Boneyard. Only now the first Fiend. How far are we into the game? I can't see it here. 13 minutes until the first Fiend. I don't understand this. And with so much control in your army, you still knock down ghouls easy. Level 4 already. Wow. This is really fast. Should be level 3. Ah, close to level 3.
A player's force is
He has a lot of time now to creep his expo and get an additional gold mine up. There's 2 bears, there's 4 dryads, there's no worm. There is he going for destroyers? Yeah, he must go for destroyers, but I don't see the upgrade yet. So late. Lucifer is super late with everything here. And now he sees that the Renegade Wizard in the bottom right is gone as well. Naga is 3... Was it the second big invo? No. Oh, he sold something. Sorry, I didn't catch it. Finally, DK level 4 as well. But Lich is not 3, Naga is not 2. And Remind sniffs this up. Goes for the shop. Staff. Double staff. And creep check again. Does he have a TP still? Yes, he does. Not like on Last Refuge, where he was trapped at the rat spot. Here we go. 1 destroyer only, but 3 fiends this time. How many dryads can he take out? Naga has to use the invul immediately after the nuke. But hooray for slow. What's the Lich doing there? Many free hits on him. But he's kiting well-ish despite double slow. 43 supply only though. And a few free kills. No worm in production. He has lumber issues as he has only 1 ghoul to work with. Oh boy, this is bad. He has to reproduce the ghouls first to get some lumber before he can get the fiends back that he just lost. And this is all the time in the world. For an expansion, it's already up. Tree of Life is moving over. This looks like a 3rd hero. Is he fooling around with him now? Oh, I don't think you can afford it in NSL. The winner of this series faces Focus. Remind versus Focus, man, the history. As it's not looking bad for the Night Elf. Still only a level 2 Lich. This army is ridiculous. Gets a worm now. We don't see an Engine of Wind transition, do we? No. It's not there. More Dryads, though. And the Expo is up. Shade sees it, of course. We have to admit that True Shot Aura is helping him a lot. But it's not a game breaker. And I miss a little creativity or diversity or new ideas from Lucifer's side. He's down 2-0. He needs to do something. He doesn't want to take risks here. Wasting time with very small creep camps. And Remind takes out one spot after another. Bit of cunning, meh. Almost losing that Fiend to creeps. Very aggressive creeps on the right side. Warsong Battle Drums again. This makes up for the True Shot aura. And it's even better. Second core left to be invested. Wisp is scouting this, but the siege begins. Takes out another ghoul. Web only now, but he doesn't need it at all. So this is a little bit of wasted resources. Didn't scout well. Didn't scout at all into the Night Elf base. To see that there is no Engine of Wind. So, what does he do? He does have a town portal. He has 1,600 gold. What? And no lumber. There is a laboratory next to his base where he could get a shredder. Doesn't do it. Remind has no TP. And his expansion might be under pressure, but there's no normal damage in this army. How can you bank 1,700 gold in this matchup? Okay, come on. Do I need to cast this? This is so one-sided. So many Dryads. TP out. Naga has to use the invul of this. Of course, economically, Lucifer gets the most out of his gold mine. But this is quite ridiculous. Still banking. Okay, now he's breaking upkeep. Immediate 63 supply. But once again... Okay, he's stuck on lumber now. No abomination. Against so... Okay, he goes for a meat wagon. We have diversity. He saw how many Dryads this is. Now comes the Engine of Wind transition. It's okay. As he has double gold mine. Easy to afford it. Heal Scroll, Invul Potion on the Night Elf side. Mana Potion, Invul Potion, that's it. Second Worm is there in a bit. No TP. Nova is still level 1, by the way. Doesn't do shit. 76 supply and only 3 bears. This is mass Dryads. He won't get too many hippos because then he's at 80 food. Is this the only one? Could kill an archer. That's about it. Okay, 2 meat wagons. Is this the answer? Demon Hunter gets another invul. He has 1 heal scroll. No disease cloud if I got this correct. Sells the boneyard. 3 meat wagons. But usually you need a blocker line, or at least a little meat shield for those. She doesn't have. At least he got damage in his army against Dryads now. 4 Fiends, Lich, Naga, and Meat Wagon. One upgrades as well. Remind is once again in high upkeep. So rare to see. Lucifer wants to push this. Of course he has to get rid of the expansion. But it's gonna be hard. And he lures him into this position where there's no trees at all. 3 hippos I think won't make a difference. But they are meat shield. They are distraction. I see only 2 wagons. A-bomb. Okay. Cancel this one for an A-bomb, but it's too late. The fight is starting without this Abomination. 85 food on Lucifer's side as well. 91 on Remind. 2 Hippos are breaking through. They're not gonna get webbed only now. And there is no block line at all. Demon Hunter and Bears are taking care of this meat wagon. First one is down. And the second one as well. Oh, the third one will fall. No, doesn't want to go for that. Here's the Abomination finally blocking. Trying to go for the Naga for the hero kill, but I don't think that's enough. Both on 74 actually, so those meat wagons did help. But the Bears are still there. Second Worm. And the DK is in trouble. Has no healing on his side. Trying to hide behind that, but Fork Lightning is coming in. Oh boy, this does not look good at all. There's an Invo Potion he could transfer. Call on the Worm. And the A-Bomb is soaking up the damage that he needs. This is looking fairly good. Level 3 on the Naga. He needs to turn this fight around. Does he have a coil? He has 2 coils. Not coiling the A-Bomb. I think that was a mistake. Level 5 trying to go for the hero kill with Fork Lightning and Nova, but walks into a Fork Lightning. And that must be it. Level 4 DK down. He still has good damage in the army, but no healing. And without the aura, what can you do against it? And there's only 2 Fiends against this mass of Dryads. But all of them are hurt. 1 down, 2 down. Oh, Worm down as well. Level 5 on the Naga. And Remind sweeps Lucifer. Clean sheet 3-0. A little disappointing. I thought that this would be closer. And I thought there would be more mind games. When you compare this match to TH and Yumiko yesterday, where one player had an idea how to start that game, but the other player figured it out, and then you had to react all the time. That was fascinating. This was not the strongest Lucifer that we've seen recently. And he struggles hard against Night Elf. Remind figured this matchup out. Good army compositions, good timings, good map presence, good leveling as well. And he didn't... like some Night Elf players, they do not level the Demon Hunter well. They only focus on their second hero. Which I think is a big mistake. Remind didn't do that. He played almost flawless. I'm really happy for Remind that he figured this matchup out. But... yeah, as an undead by heart, this is a little underwhelming, of course. So... I don't know. Maybe it was just not his day. He has a second chance. He is in the lower bracket now. Remind facing Focus in the winner bracket final. There we go. Thank you once again to everybody who's contributing to Liquipedia. You do a phenomenal job. Once the game is over, boom, the results are there. So massive shout out to the Liquipedia guys. This is our bracket after playoff week 1. Moon lost to Infi. TH won over Yumiko as Night Elf. So we don't know if TH will play Night Elf against Infi as well, or if it's going to be a straight up Human Mirror. We're going to see about that. Remind, the only player who didn't drop a map. And Focus versus Fly. Also pretty surprising to me that Focus took this. So in the lower bracket, or in the winner bracket, we have Infi versus TH and Remind versus Focus. Really interesting to see the legendary Zotac Cup finals in the 2017 winner bracket semifinal. And in the lower bracket, very, very hard way for all of them to get to the lower bracket semifinal, which qualifies for the playoffs, or for the Ascension phase. Moon versus Yumiko, and Lucifer versus Fly. Those gonna be great, great, great matches. I'm actually looking more forward to the lower bracket than I'm looking forward to the winner bracket. But I'm pretty sure that TH versus Infi is gonna be great as well. NSL continues next week. Next Wednesday and Thursday once again. I don't know the schedule by heart, but I will look it up. It's Infi's birthday actually, and Joker's birthday today. So congrats to both of you. And okay. On Wednesday we have the winner bracket semifinals. On Thursday, we have the lower brackets round 1. So, NSL impresses with good games. Today, not so much. I think the Orc Mirror was interesting. Remind Lucifer a little underwhelming. But I bet they will make up for it next week, as NSL was absolutely awesome before and will continue to be awesome. Sunday we will be back with Jera Cup 125. I will not be there most likely, but maybe later. Depends on how hungover I am, because I'm meeting friends on Saturday. Old friends from like high school, and that's gonna be good. I'm really looking forward to that. Haven't seen them in a while. And those days are always great, so for once, real life has a priority over Jera Cup. So, yeah. That's it for today, at least from my side. Thank you for the support again. If you want those replays, if you want to see how you can face Orc Mirror or copy Remind's timings, then feel free to do so. And sub to this channel, then you get the replays right after the cast in your Twitch inbox. Also a very good way to support us, as this month is September. Every subscription is 50% off, and a lot of you did that already. I'm really, really thankful for that. As I said, Sunday we will continue. In the next few days, there's gonna be the sign-up link for the Western qualifier, or the Western Open qualifier for GCS, so check out our social media. We will post it there on facebook.com/backtowarcraft and twitter.com/backtowarcraft. If you missed those games, feel free to sub to our YouTube. It's youtube.com/backtowarcraft, and all the information can be found in the channel description as well. Links to Reddit, Liquipedia, Hive Workshop, all that good stuff. So if you want to be part of the Warcraft scene, all the important links are there. So that's it from my side. This was Neo and Back to Warcraft covering NSL 2017. It was a pleasure to cast for you guys once again, and have a great rest of the week.